Hi guys, we had a little hiccup today. The normal app that I use is not working, so I'm on my Mac right now on Smart Notebook, making it happen for you. All right, so the expression of 2 times 4x squared plus 3x plus 1 minus 3 times 2x squared plus 7x plus 8 is equivalent to, well, you got to distribute. So we're going to have 8x, oh my God, it's going to be 8x squared plus 6x plus 2. And then this is negative. You're distributing the whole thing. Negative 6x squared minus 21x minus 24. And now all you have to do is combine your like terms. So that's going to be 8x squared minus 6x squared, which is 2x squared. 6x minus 21x is going to be negative 15x. And then we're going to have 2 minus 24, so that's negative 22. This is the answer to number 1. Okay, number 2. Miss Arias has 25 coins that total 350. All of her coins are dimes and quarters. Q. Sorry. Write a system of equations. So system means 2. So we need 2 different equations to model the situation. So my first one is going to be D. That's the number of dimes plus the number of quarters that Miss Arias has, equals the total number of coins which she has, which is 25 coins. Then a dime is worth 10 cents. Quarter is worth 25 cents. And she has a total of $3.50. And then this is what's going to represent the whole thing. This is your system. Remember, system means right to. Penny is going out to a pizza parlor for dinner. She wants to order pizza slices and garlic knots. Pizza costs $3.25 per slice, and knots cost 75 cents each. She has $15 to spend, and also she wants to buy at least, we'll put that in here. She wants to buy at least 8 items. That's supposed to be in there. It got cut off somehow, some way. So not only does she have $15 to spend, but she wants to buy at least 8 items. So now we know it's spending money. That is going to be, she can spend no more than what she has. So we're going to have 1 that is set less than or equal to 15. So that's our first inequality that we're going to write. Our second one has to deal with the fact that she wants to buy at least greater than or equal to 8 items. All right, so this one, she's talking about money because this is $15. So we know that there are pizza and knots. So we're going to quickly let x equal slices and let y equal number of knots. Okay, garlic knots. So the number of pizza slices and the number of garlic knots that I purchase, we want it to be at least 8 items. But now I know that pizza is $3.25 each. X plus 75 cents Y. My husband's watching Friends in the other room. I don't know if you can hear this fiasco going on. All right, so this is the system. All right, make sure you know if you're spending money, it's at most, so it's going to be less than or equal to. At least is always greater than or equal to. All right, find the value of x that is a solution to the equation. You're going to first subtract over the 1/2. So now you have 2/3 x is equal to 5/6 minus 3/6 is, I think, 2/6 or 1/3. And then you're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. So this cancels out. And you're left with x is equal to 2 times 3 is 6 over 6 times 2 is 12. So this is really x is equal to 1 over 2, 4.5. That's the first page. On to the next. Each day, a local animal shelter spends an average of $6.25 on food per cat. The manager estimates the shelter's daily expenses, assuming that there is at least one cat in the shelter, using the function e of x equals 35 plus 625x. Which statement regarding the function e of x are correct? X represents the number of cats in the shelter per day. Well, considering this is the total amount that it costs for cats, we're going to say yes. X represents the total number of animals at the shelter per day. This just talks about the cats. All right. This just talks about the cats. Now here, 35 represents the shelter's non-food expenses per day. So remember, the 625, this is the food. Remember, cats need toys and water and medicine and love. So they need a lot more than just food. I don't know what this word is. It looks like it says something else. Food. It says food. This is non-food expenses. So we're going to say yes. And they spend more than $35 on total expenses. So the answer is 1 and 3. Jessica correctly simplified x minus 5 squared. All right, do not fall in this trap. Remember, you have to expand and multiply. So x minus 5 squared is really x minus 5 times x minus 5. Oh my gosh. So now double distribute, that's x squared minus 5x. Wow, fail. X squared minus 5x. And then minus 5x again. So I think you kind of see where the answer is going to be. All right, it's not going to be a binomial plus 25. So our answer is going to be number 4. Okay, on the main floor, the auditorium in Southampton High School, the number of seats per row increases at a constant rate. Katie counts 25 seats in row 1 and 28 seats in row 2. So this is what you're going to use. A sub n, right? We're going to plug whatever row we're looking for goes in for the n. What's the first term here? Do we know how many seats are in the first row? Oh, a sub 1 is 25. You guys remember this, right? Plus n minus 1, so something minus 1, times our common difference. Now, what's our pattern? If it's 25 seats in row 1 and 28 seats in row 2, that means my pattern is going up by 3. And it says how many seats are there in row 15? So right here, we're putting 15. We know how many seats in row 15, and we just have to do this simple arithmetic. Okay, so that's 25 plus 15 minus 1 times 3. So this is 25 plus 14 times 3. You're obviously going to do the 14 times 3 first, and I believe that's 42. So 25 plus 42 is going to be 67. 67 seats. Okay, so you're just using this formula. This is the first term, this is your common difference, and then this is whatever row you're looking for. Okay? What's the solution? We're going to distribute. So we have 6m minus 3 is less than or equal to 4m plus 7. All right, we're going to scooch over that 4m. So we're going to have 2m minus 3 is less than or equal to 7. Bring over that 3. And it doesn't seem like there's going to be any symbol change. So we have 2m. This is a piece of cake. It's 10. And we divide both sides by 2. I'm running out of room here. You get that m is less than or equal to 5. All right, we're moving. I really hope this is recording. If it's not recording, I might cry, actually. Okay, number 9, given all this junk, which expression results in an irrational number? All right, c plus a, let's see, that's radical 9 plus radical 25. Guys, these are perfect squares, come on. This is 3 plus 25, this is going to be 8. So this ain't it. 2 times a. Well, we know a is square root of 25, that's 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. That's rational. Come on. B times b. Did they take us for a fool here? Radical 3 times radical 3. Well, if you multiply it together, you're actually going to get radical 9 or just plain old 3. So this is also rational. D plus a. This should be pi. That's very interesting. This should be pi. So anything with pi is going to be irrational because pi itself is irrational. Okay. Which function has the greatest y-intercept? The y-intercept is always the b. So here our b is equal to 8. Here we're going to first bring over the 3x. So we have 6y is equal to negative 3x plus 18. It's taking so long, I'm gonna go crazy. This is so long because my app got deleted. What's a girl to do? All right, so we have y equals negative 1/2 x. Now the y-intercept is going to be positive 3. So obviously this is the biggest y-intercept so far. Line that passes through, the line that has a slope of 2 and passes through the point 0, 1. So if we're looking about this on the graph, this y-intercept is going to be right here. And then the line is going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So this is what choice 3 is going to look like. And I believe that this has a smaller y-intercept than all of them. And this has a y-intercept of, let me erase this so you don't get confused. For number 4, this has a y-intercept of 5. So I think the largest y-intercept is going to be our choice 1. Which chart could represent the function? Now, guys, all you have to do is put this in your calc. Okay? Now, the only one that matches up with a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 4 is going to be choice 3. If you put it in the calculator, put this in the y equals, you can do y equals x plus 4, and you look at your table. Okay, which one matches up? Okay, this is the only one that matches up. Okay, because y is equal to 0 plus 4, right? 2 is equal to, 6 is equal to 2 plus 4. 8 is equal to 4 plus 4. And 10 is equal to 6 plus 4. If you plug in the x values for x and the f of x values for f of x, you can see that it actually works. Next page. What's the product of 3x plus 1 and x squared, no, this whole thing. Double distribute. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, and we're back. We're multiplying all this stuff. So I have my first row, that's my 3x times all this stuff. Okay, now my second row is going to be the 1 times the x squared and 1 times negative 5x and 1 times 1. So I'm going to have 1x squared on the bottom minus 5x plus 1. So now you're going to combine your like terms on the diagonals here. We have 3x cubed. Then that's a negative 15x squared. So it's going to be negative 14x squared. Ooh. And then we're going to have negative 2x plus 1. Ah, it's like a pickle. Okay, the leading coefficient for the following polynomial. Put this in standard form first. So we have 4x cubed. Remember, standard form. We got all of our exponents in decreasing order. So we have the cubed first. We have the squared next. Minus 5x plus 1. Our leading coefficient is this number out front, so it is negative 4. Oh gosh, which system of equations will yield the same solution as the following? So it's really your preference, whatever you feel like getting rid of first. I usually get rid of the first letter. So I'm going to multiply by negative 2 on the top. So now I can cancel out my x's and I can combine these. So this is going to be negative 1y is equal to negative 7. And if you divide both sides by negative 1, you're going to see that y is equal to positive 7. All right, and then, so we want to use the first equation and plug it in because it's a little bit easier. So x minus y has to be equal to 3. So we're trying to find x. X minus 7 equals 3. Guys, what minus 7 is equal to 3? Well, I'm telling you that x is really equal to 10. All right, so x is 10 and y is 7. So you got to plug these in and see which one works out. Okay, so as you can see, as I plugged it in over here, negative 20 minus 14, that does not equal negative 6. So let's move on to the next one. When I plugged it in, negative 2 times 10 is negative 20. 2 times 7 is 14. This has not worked out to be 3, so we know that ain't it either. Okay, so there was a small typo. This should say positive 6 here. All right, so this should change to say positive 6 because 20 minus 14 is equal to positive 6. Guys, there would be no choice that worked. This is actually going to be the answer right here. Let me show you why. So if this is positive 6, this works out here. 20 minus 14 is equal to 6. And then here, 2 times x, so that's 20, minus 3 times 7 minus 21, that is equal to negative 1. So that would work for both. This one down here, 3x plus 3y, so that would be 30 plus 21 is not equal to 9. So you have to make that change here. There should be positive 6 here. All right? So it works for both. All right, the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is this. Solve for L. So you might choose to distribute first. P is equal to 2L plus 2W. We're still solving for L. So you're going to scooch over that 2W. So we have P minus 2W is equal to 2L. And then finally, divide everything by 2. So L is equal to P over 2. This doesn't divide evenly, so P over 2. But the 2's cancel out, so it's going to be minus 1W. Or you could say L is equal to P minus 2W over 2. So either or is good. What the heck? Okay. Not that many left, people. All right, we're writing a recursive sequence. All right, so the first term is 2. The pattern is first multiply by 3, then add 1. So first you're going to multiply by 3, then add 1. Okay, so for the second term, you're going to take your first term and you multiply it by 3 and then add 1. So your second term is 7. Third term is the same pattern. Take your second term, multiply it by 3, and then add 1. So this is going to be 22. Fourth term, you take the third term, 3 times 22, and then add 1. So that's going to be 67. And finally, your fifth term, you're going to take 3 times your 67, and then add 1. And you get 202. Is the product of this and that rational or irrational? Well, product means to multiply. When you multiply these, you get 160 in the calculator. And 160 is a whole number. Therefore, it's rational. I'm really struggling here, folks. Therefore, it is rational. All right, almost done. Woo! The table below represents the height of a bird above the ground during flight, with P of t representing height in feet and t representing time in seconds. Calculate the average rate of change. That formula is m is equal to, that's the rate of change, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so from 0 to 9 seconds, so we're going to use this 0 and this 9. Now these are our x and these are our y's. So we're going to do y2, 3.41 minus 6.71 over 9 minus 0. So you did y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 9 minus 0. So when you do this, you get something like negative 3.3 over 9, which I think went to negative 11 over 30. I think that's it. Negative 11 over 30. That's 3. Okay, negative 11 over 30. I'll write it again. And that's all she wrote, folks. If you have questions, I'll be here in the morning. Have a great night. I'm sorry again for the technical difficulties.